the chance to stand as a senator, to stand for in the campaign for a senator. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm all good, thank you.
It's always exciting to be back in Cameroon.
I love to know that people go far away but do come back. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Even though now you're coming because you have a series of events that you've planned to talk about crisis management.
Yes, there are four of them, but let me go back to your introduction. Yes. There are 3.5 million Africans intellectuals in the diaspora, in the United States in particular. But unfortunately, not a single one has run for United States Senate, which is a statewide election. I ran for United States Senate, and luckily, unfortunately, we had 43% of the votes. It says we have African talents, we have people who can make a difference in our lives. But the question is, what are we doing for Africa? What are we doing to help the businesses in our home country? And that is why I am in Cameroon. As you know, a lot of countries in Africa are going through a lot of transition, and there's crisis in a lot of places. So we have come up with 4 workshops that will help businesses and also the public sector, not only in Cameroon, but Africa as a whole. So the first one is crisis management. How do you manage in crisis? If you show up at for a company, if the employees decide not to come to work on a particular day, what do you do? Or if you come, most of your equipments are on fire, what do you do? If you have not prepared or anticipated some of these issues before, you will not do well. And that is why we want to make sure. I know back here, crisis, we don't want to talk about it. But it's not far away. So you always have to prepare. The second one is project management. Yes, I recognize in Cameroon everybody is an expert in projects. But there are people who are qualified, who are certified, who do this. I've been doing this for 25 years. January, February, and March, I was in France helping companies to turn around. I do business transformation. But Cameroon is also in construction. So they have projects. Simple projects, complex projects, projects with all type of difficulties.
Or just startups like the one in Malin was
There you go. We can help them. And actually, one of the things I also offer is new business strategy, and I can help them as well on that. But let's stay on the project. What are the main areas? What are the 9 knowledge areas you need to know to have a successful project? What are the risks that are involved in your project, and how do you mitigate those risks? So that is why we are doing those workshops, those 2. Then the other 2 workshops are branding and marketing. This one was a request by one of our banks here in Cameroon. Branding and marketing of financial services. When you think of banking, why should you go to this particular bank as opposed to another bank? How do they position themselves in the market? And finally, but not the least, which is much more interesting, is ethics in business and in public affairs. As you know, Cameroon, with our, the culture of corruption we have, so ethics is a big one on how we can begin to transform and make our children understand that certain values are important. And if you want to go well and be a good citizen, there are certain things that you need to do.
Absolutely.
And that is why we have selected this 4. We think that the environment, the current environment in Cameroon is adequate, is appropriate.
May I ask you why you chose ethics among other things, and what are some of the points you'll be highlighting when you're talking ethics?
That's a good one. For ethics, how do you encourage your employees to follow the code of conduct in the organization? How do you help an employee understand to do what is right versus what is wrong? For example, in Cameroon, when you talk to someone, the first thing he wants to know is stretch an arm.
Okay.
We call it choco. He wants you to give him something in exchange.
Yeah.
And that is wrong. Because once you do that, what are you doing? You're causing a lot of harm to businesses. So people stop doing those type of business. So we need to encourage them. Another one is recognize business ethics and the cost to bad behavior.
Just curious, will you be talking about late coming?
Oh, that's another thing, right? Respect of time. How do you...
It's definitely an issue that maybe you want to handle in ethics. But
yes.
Let me ask you another question, though. I mean, the window is open, and if you feel touched, and definitely there are things there that should touch you, you want to check Dr. Nana out to know more about him. But tell me, what is the overall message? What is the point? If you were to summarize this in one message that you're bringing, what is it?
That we are here to help Cameroonian businesses and business leaders make better decisions. You have Africans who are among the best of the best in the world. How do we leverage that skill set to help our own local businesses? As I mentioned to you earlier, I've been transforming business in the United States for 25 years. The last 3 months, January, February, March, I was in Europe. How about our businesses in Cameroon that desperately needs help? I was in Douala Monday, Tuesday, and I went to companies. And when I walked to some companies, this is just a shadow of what I saw a few years back. They are in crisis. And they need someone who can show them, hold their hands, and say, this is how you think about it, this is how you position yourself, and this is how you get out of the mess in which you find yourself. But you want to make sure they're able to have that mindset and those processes so that they don't run into the same issues in the future.
I'm sure one of the things, or at least you hear this one when you talk to these business owners and business managers, funding. So, I mean, you ran for a senator position, you are based in the USA, you have a lot of, I was not going to say money, I was going to say resources, so that it makes it very big. So, beyond what we've been discussing, are there hopes that people also, you can show them how to earn proper money in what they do?
Oh, absolutely. If you meet a company that has been losing sales for the last, I don't know how many years, you show them what they need to do to get to that client, to position themselves. What is their overall strategy? By helping them do that, not only you're helping them make money, but employ folks. There are a lot of universities that one of the biggest problems we find when we come home is unemployment, right? Africa we have one of the youngest generations. The average age in Africa is 22 years. We need employment for these young folks. We have tons of universities in Cameroon. When these children come out of school, do they find employment? If they don't, why don't we help businesses create employment? On the other hand, you don't want them to be taxed to death. And that is one of the challenges you face. But those companies as well also have to prepare against, and those are some of the risks we'll talk about, right? Taxation, regulatory risk. How do you position yourself to make sure that if the city council decides to increase your taxes by 50%, what do you have to do? Do you pass that charge to your customer, or do you eat or absorb that cost and then do something else? So you have to look at a business holistically, right?
Hey.
It's very, very important that the engine of the economy is the business, the private businesses.
Thank you so much,
in Cameroon.
Dr. Nana. I need to slow you down because, of course, when you have, sometimes on this program we get people like him, they are boiling with things to share, and I hope you see that window that is open and go through it. Because it's not often that you have people who will help your business to grow. If you've invested so much money, so much of your dream into something, maybe it's worth it that you listen to people. Thank you so much for coming, Dr. Nana.
Can we give a phone number that they can reach me? There must be a way they can reach me, or how do you guys...
I would rather say if you want to reach him, you have our phone numbers. In case you don't know, if you're new to this game, it is 66303-9233. 66303-9233. Any moment, we'll give you by text message the phone number of Dr. Nana. But I'm also giving you this number because our talking point today is who is a feminist? Recently I read some wonderful definitions on Facebook as like social media killers. So tell us who is a feminist, and don't feel judged, just tell us and let's learn from one another. Dr. Nana, you're laughing, so who is a feminist? Let me give this to you.
Well, that's a tough one,
Don't tell
right?
me it's a takumbeng. I mean, I'll be just
No, I won't say it's a takumbeng, but it's a tough one because it depends on the perspective. It should be a positive word, but some people have made being a feminist carries so much negative connotation. Because when someone says she's a feminist, she tells you, I don't cook. So she's there with her husband. The husband comes home, he's tired. He wants the husband to go to the kitchen and get something for himself. So that's not what feminism means.
All right.
So you got to get a sense of...
Some people say I'm a feminist and I don't cook. Okay, it's beginning to feel tight. Thank you so much, Dr. Nana, for coming on the program. And I wish you a wonderful moment of intelligence and of resources with the people you'll be training. And definitely get back to us to let us know how it's working so we can share the images, the successes of what you're doing.
Thanks a million. I appreciate it.
Would you like me to give you something for the morning? I know it's quite early in the morning, though, but... banana, orange, watermelon. I recommend it.
Well, I don't eat until 12 noon, so but I appreciate the offer. But thank you very much.
All right, well,
I'm sure you guys will enjoy it.
All right.
Thank you.
Have you been to the Adamawa recent? Oh, you just landed?
I just came in on, yes, this is my second day in Cameroon.
Welcome back, though.
Thank you.
I'm going to take you through this report. That's the magic of television. You know, we sit on